All right, how excited should the hockey world be over Connor Bedard's debut tonight?
I think this guy, the bill that we have been sold is that this guy is the next it, the next Sidney Crosby, the next McDavid, the next it guy. So from a hockey perspective, even if you're not a fan of the sport, you're going to tune into that game. It's prime time, 8 o'clock on ESPN. You're going to watch what this kid can do.
I don't want to root for him because he's wearing a Blackhawks sweater.
And that is the crux of the issue.
It's
a
just
huge issue.
For us here in Detroit, I find it to be a disgusting turn of events that he ended up there. And we knew he was going, like, this goes back to the stupid lottery, but, we don't even, I don't know, man. I find the entire thing to be very, very difficult to choose to root for him. And we don't even see him like we used to, not even in the same conference, but I still can't stand him.
Yeah, but it's like they got Patrick Kane, they got Jonathan Taves with those high draft picks they got, and then now they get Connor Bedard.
Yeah.
If you can remove the Chicago thing entirely and just look at this as a hockey fan and objectively say this guy is, he's being sold as the next great one, right?
Yep.
I don't know if he's going to amount to that, but as a hockey fan, I'm pumped up to see what it looks like live and in person.
So he debuts tonight against Pittsburgh and Sidney Crosby, which is obviously no fluke by the NHL. And they're staggering games. There's like a 5:30, an 8, and a 10:30 start tonight. Red Wings don't play till Thursday. Is it playoffs or bust this year, in your opinion?
I believe so. I think they have to be in that mix of teams at the end of the season that is either right on the fringe, left out, or wild card. That, to me, is the expectation going into this year. You did not rebuild your second, third, and fourth line and add a 40-goal score to not be in the playoffs.
I'm with you on that. I was actually talking to Birchie on Sunday at the Lions game about getting excited about hockey starting up, and I said, I think they're a playoff team. I think that has to be the expectation. Obviously, the guys in the room, that's going to be their expectation, but I think for fans, the Yzer plan, we trust in Yzerman and, making his moves, but they made more offseason moves to bring more adults into the room. And he did it so much that it's at the expense of seeing Simon Edvinsson up or Marco Kasper up, Elmer Soderblom. All these guys are not with the big club for a reason. And big reason is guys they brought in. And when you're bringing in DeBrincat and you're bringing in Petrie and Gostisbehere and others, I start to get excited. Bringing in a competent backup goaltender that can spell Husso when he needs to because last year just got overworked. These are the things that should make this team a playoff team.
My question is, in what other sport do you bring in a bona fide, what you would call a star? DeBrincat is a 40-goal scorer when he's at his best. That's star-level caliber. In what other sport and what other situation do you bring in a star, quote-unquote, to not win rather immediately? This year, next year, whatever you want to call it.
It's tough in hockey because ice time and, one out of every 4 shifts kind of deal. But yes, it's kind of the deal is that's the expectation. Does it? I feel like that this guy, it's personal to him being a local guy, that anything he can do to put this team over the top, he will do. I think we're going to get the best of Alex DeBrincat, I guess is my point.
I worry about the local angle because everybody wants to say, oh, he's from here. That means it's going to work out. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not. But, yeah, I think it wasn't working out in Ottawa, and certainly they're going to use him differently than they used him in Ottawa.
Yeah, playing with if he's going to play with Larkin, and it seems like he's going to play with Larkin, that should pay off dividends. Dylan Larkin's always a guy that will have more assists than goals, and he stepped his game up. He took it to a different level last year, and he's a star. So it's about time. We want to see if they can stay healthy.
Right.
That it's about time we saw the top line look like a top line again instead of just being, oh, look at the 15 games that the guys played well together at the end of the season when everybody got healthy again. Do it for the full season, and if they do it for the full season, they should be a playoff team.
Can somebody tell the national media this? Because every article that I read about the Red Wings is, they're a late, mid-80s points team. They're going to just miss the playoffs. It's not going to be the year that all these Red Wings fans are hyping it up to be. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but I'm tired of seeing every single article that I read about the Red Wings has them well outside of the playoffs.
Well, I think the big knock against it is that they're not the only team that improved in the conference in the offseason.
It's true.
And there are the teams at the top that are going to be at the top. There's some teams that are going to drop a little bit, but they should still be playoff teams. And then they got the other teams in that group, like the Red Wings, that are trying to improve, that maybe they got a little bit better than what Detroit is. But I just, as a whole, really like what they've done.
I do too.
Given that they're an 80-point team last year, to be a mid-80s team would be a massive disappointment.
100%. And if you're a mid-90s team, that means you're fringe playoffs. If you're high 90s, you're probably in the wild card. And I looked at teams like Boston, who just lost the heart and soul of their team, their captain. They lost a bunch of other guys, too. They're bound to drop off. We say this every year about Boston, by the way. This is going to be the year that they finally fall down a hill. Last year, they have the best season in hockey history. So,
Kenny, it was good to have you in. Just thought we'd sprinkle a little hockey with the season starting tonight. Bedard's debut and the Red Wings coming going online Thursday.
Yes,
Looking
sir.
forward to it.